Here to help us make some sense of what is not making any sense at all is Louisiana Senator Bill Cassidy. Senator, so great to have you here on set. So I'm so confused. The Biden administration criticized incessantly Title 42. Now they're using it, but only for Venezuelans. Then they have a 24,000 that they're allowing in legally, but we know that's not going to be enough. I'm concerned maybe there's going to be a black market for that. Can you help us make some sense of this? It makes no sense.
Good luck.
Yeah, the Biden administration effectively wants open borders. Effectively, they want that. And now it's just totally out of control. Even they have to do something. And so they're going back to policies that the last administration did, which were the last policies that worked. He campaigned against them. He's got to be a little quiet about this. Turns out those are the ones that work. And by the way, if you think Venezuela's an issue, you just wait and see what's about to happen in Haiti. Haiti, where there's gangs we're going to stop shipping rice to Haiti because the gangs have taken over, which means there'll be mass starvation, and which means Haitians will be coming across far more than Venezuelans.
But why did they pick Venezuelans?
I'm not quite sure why they did it, unless it's some sort of deal to try and strong-arm the Venezuelan government to give us more oil. You know, like instead of producing our own oil, we're going to ask the Venezuelans to produce theirs. I don't quite get it. I'd rather jobs in Louisiana than jobs in Venezuela, but that's this administration.
You mentioned Haitians, and we just now learned this week that Mayorkas knew that the whipping story wasn't true when he went in front of the media and disparaged these agents. Accountability for him coming at any point?
I actually think it starts at the top. He's just a man taking orders. And they said, you're going to go out there and you're going to say this. And he may have said it isn't true. And they said, we don't care, you're going to say it. I just say, if you want accountability, vote Republican in the midterms.
Well, on that topic, we're looking at the midterms. I think everybody believes the House will flip to the Republican control. And now we're looking at the Senate. And a lot of experts are saying one or two senators here or there, it could go either way. If we end up in a situation where the House and the Senate are Republican controlled, obviously Biden's still in the White House, we go back to this border issue. Okay, they're probably not going to let you fund the wall. What can you do to secure the border?
So unfortunately, Congress has given the executive everything they need to secure the border as well as it can be secured. The executive doesn't want to use it. It's like pushing wet toilet paper. You're trying to get it to give you a little bit of pushback. You can't. So the administration will not build a wall. They won't enforce the law. They're trying to repeal Title 42. The best we can do, no, I won't say the best. We will do our best to get them to enforce the laws that are there. But I will say, if they want to rope-a-dope, if they want to pretend they can't do it, they got a lot of tools at their hand to be incompetent.
Another topic, Joe Biden's on the West Coast claiming that if Republicans take charge, they're going to make inflation worse. Please translate and explain his attempt to flip what's going on.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to laugh. I mean, it's like, what, Joe? I mean, like, they passed the $1.9 trillion American, they called it the Recovery Act. It's actually our program, whatever. It's actually the American recession, what they did, with left-of-center economists predicting that it would drive up inflation, and it did. Republicans are going to put a stop on unnecessary spending. We're going to do our best to open up North American energy production.
Can you do that?
You can do that by saying, okay, agency, until you start issuing permits, we're going to put the squeeze on you.
Power of the purse.
The power of the purse.
Let's hope that the Republicans actually use that power. I mean, that's all you had. That's all you got.
Rachel, it is always a tension between an executive that doesn't want to do something and a Congress which is trying to get them. And so you use whatever tool you can, because what's at stake here is the family budget. How do we get that family budget in better shape?
We know we're talking about inflation, and a lot of your colleagues would say that much of inflation or much of our economic woes come from our energy policy. And President Biden made some news this week, or at least Saudi Arabia did, saying that the Biden administration requested that oil production be cut after the midterms. Obviously a political move there, but what does that say for looking out for Americans?
It says that it's cynical, or, you know, if you're at home and you're paying that much more for your utilities and that much more for your gasoline and that much more for your heating oil, you're thinking, what in the heck is happening?
28% more, 27% more, 10% more, 5% more, your four major forms of energy. We read them off this morning.
This administration does not care about that family struggling around the kitchen table to pay their bills. And And they're going to tell you otherwise, but in practice, that's true.
You know, Joey fairly says, of course we know this is about the election. That's how, you know, oftentimes we would react to this reality that Saudi Arabia said no to Biden's attempt to effectively meddle in the elections. The other side spent 4 years trying to impeach Donald Trump, using a phone call to say he meddled in election, none of which was true. So why did they? I'm not going to ask the question.
No,
So why did they get away with it? Because we know why they get away with it.
It's a great question, Pete. It's a great question because he also threatened, we're going to not give you weapons, sell you weapons. Isn't that what happened in the Ukraine? They accused Trump of using the sale of weapons to Ukraine as a cudgel. Same thing.
Bargaining chip.
As a bargaining chip. Why we cannot have a country with not the same rules for both parties?
So, Rachel, I am from a state in which hundreds of thousands of people have a better living because we have North American energy production. My state, our country, our families are stronger when we develop our own resources. Now, the president is begging other countries to increase their resources. They're going to do what's in their best interest. I just ask, Mr. President, do what's in the interest of the American family. Let's develop our own resources, our own supply, drive down the cost of all these fuels, but drive up the wages of our fellow Americans. Mr. President, please do that. Then you'll be doing your job.
But would you guys impeach the president the way they impeached Donald Trump for the same thing?
So, of course, impeachment starts in the House, and so they will decide if there's going to be an impeachment
But
charge.
should they? Should Republicans do that?
Rachel, let's look at the charges. You don't want to make impeachment a political tool.
But they do.
I know they do. Ideally,
They do a lot of things that I think Republicans.
This is more about our country and about the future that we're saying than about, kind of a tit for tat.
Yeah.
And so if there is something that should be impeachable, he should be impeached. If there's something, well, it's payback time, I'm a little uncomfortable with that.
Is it impeachable what he did?
I don't know that. I mean,
Withholding oil to the American people and telling the Saudis to do that?
I don't know that.
Before the election, we know that. The Saudis said
I
so.
don't know if that. I don't know if that breaks the Constitution, and that is, what the impeachable crime is.
What's amazing is that they've made so many charges against Trump that were trumped up or created that it causes us to say, well, if that's your standard, then why can't this be the standard?
have two
That's the
standards.
frustrating part, is that there are two standards, and that's going to be a challenge for the incoming Congress to navigate if you get the gavel, both presenting an alternative, but also there's a lot of people clamoring for accountability when there just hasn't been any for a long time.
And Pete, I always point out to my friends, if you impeach the president, who will take his place?
Well, that's a really
There's
good
always
point.
that.
Maybe he's smarter about this than we thought he was.
That's why he's a senator. Yeah, got it. By the way, you're a big LSU Tigers fan.
I am. Go Tigers.
How are we feeling?
We're a little bit of a rebuilding year. We need to spread around a little bit more NIL money like Georgia.
Sell it hard, because this guy's in Tennessee talking about being a fan of that ugly orange team. At least he married into LSU. I would rather him be in the good hands.
His wife is a Saints.
The go with an ex-Tigers than those.
She has a Justin Jefferson 18 LSU jersey.
Does she really?
In her closet.
The fact that you married her tells me that you're a social climber. You know what I'm saying?
I like it. I like it.
Guilty as charged. Yes, for sure. Well, Senator, thanks for coming to visit us here.
Hey, thanks for having me. I enjoyed it.
Great to see you.
Awesome. Thanks for having us.